Hello, this is Mr. Kiehl from the Technology Department. Today we're going to learn how to make a sway in Office 365. In Carlisle, we will access Office 365 by going to www.carlisleschools.org/365. To log in, you'll use your school email address and network password. I've already logged in and told it to save my information, so it took me right in. But remember, your school email address is your username at carlislestudents.org. Once you're in, click on Sway and click Create New to start a new sway. Today I'm going to make a sway about Oreo cookies. I chose this topic because one of the classes that I'm helping out with here at school is doing a superfood project, and I thought instead of doing a superfood, I'm going to do the opposite of a superfood, which is some junk food. So we're going to do Oreo cookies. Alright, so first thing I did is I typed in a title here, and this will automatically be saved as the name of my sway. I don't need to save it like you would many traditional documents. In Sway, things auto-save, and this will be the title. I also want to select a background image to begin with. One thing that's nice about Sway is when you click on this, it automatically will bring up things based on what you typed in. And I'm going to choose the Oreo cookie category. And I think I'll use this package of Oreos right here. And you could just drag it over and drop it right there. Okay, and you can check out what you have so far anytime by hitting the play button. So as you can see right now, I have, it's reloading, I have a picture of Oreos, a title, and that's all I have so far. So I'm going to hit edit. Next I'm going to add a nutritional label. So I hit the little plus sign here, and you can see these are suggested things that I might want to add, or I could jump across here to the text and choose either a heading or text. They were also under suggested because I've used them before. But under text, I'm choosing heading 1, and I'm going to call this a nutrition label. This will be like a subheading under that title. And underneath that, I think I'll put a picture of the nutrition label. And so I'm going to do an image. And now, I kind of doubt that they'll have a nutrition label in this suggested box. They might, but I also want to show you how you can get a picture off the internet if they don't have what you want built into Sway. So I'm simply going to open a new tab, and in Google I'm going to type in Oreo cookie nutrition label. And I'll go to the image tab. I'm going to look for one that looks like it might be pretty easy to read. This one here looks fine. Okay, I want to take a picture of this. So I could either right click. The problem with right clicking is sometimes like this picture here has a white background around the edge. Maybe we'll do that one instead. If I save that, I would also get the white background. So instead, I'm going to use the snipping tool. To access the snipping tool, simply click on search and type snip, and you'll see the snipping tool. You could right click on that and pin it to your taskbar. That'll put it down here for easy access later. I'm going to click that, do a new snip. Let me hit escape. I actually want to open this picture up, make it a little bit bigger. See, I want to crop all this other stuff out. So I'll use the snipping tool. I'll do a new snip and start at one of the corners, click and drag. And as soon as I let go, it takes a picture. Okay, now one thing you do is you could right click and copy this and paste it into most documents, but Sway doesn't work that way. With Sway, you have to actually save it. So I'm going to do File, Save As, and I'm going to go to my OneDrive, and I already started an Oreo cookie folder, which I did by right-clicking and choosing New folder, and I named it Oreo Cookies. And I am going to just call this Nutrition Label Oreo. And I'm going to save that as a JPEG. That's just a more friendly format. As you can see, I saved one before. I was experimenting earlier. I'm going to hit save. Alright, go back to my Sway. So now I want to add that image here. So instead of the suggested images, I'm going to click on this and choose an image from my device. And I'm going to find that image in my OneDrive under Oreo cookies. If you don't want to save to your OneDrive, you could also save to the H drive. And I have two labels here. This is the one I just saved now. I saved that one earlier. I'll choose this one that I just saved. It'll take it a moment to upload that. And you don't really have to wait for that to upload. You can move on to your next thing. Oh, there it is. If I want to see what it looks like, I can hit play. And it'll load. And there's my nutrition label. Now, as you can see, this is scrolling across the screen. If I want to change the way that scrolls across to maybe scrolling down, I could hit design and choose styles. And right now it's on horizontal, but I could choose vertical. Okay, now by choosing vertical, when I hit play, you'll see, give it a moment to reload, it scrolls down the page instead of across the page. You can see I have my nice title screen, a label, and the picture that I put in. Okay, the next thing that we are going to do is we're going to add another card below this. By the way, when you add items, those are called cards. And we're going to add a heading, and let's put some key ingredients in the cookies. And I think I'll put a picture along with that. And I can type in here what I'm looking for. And let's just take, by the way, notice the size of these. This is a really big picture. I'm going to pick something a little bit smaller. Just drag it and drop it over there. And I'm just curious to see what that looks like. Hit play. As you can see, it just showed part of the picture. You can adjust that by hitting this focal point button. And I can click around the picture on things that are important in that picture, or I could check this box and say everything's important, and that will change the appearance of how that shows up. And now you can see more of the cookie showed up. By the way, I'm hitting you can scroll to the top and hit this edit button, but you can also hit the escape button on your keyboard to get back to this storyline editing mode. Alright, so now under key ingredients, I want to add a list. So I'm going to hit the plus sign, and I'm going to choose text. And I want this to be a bulleted list. So I'm going to add sugar, and yes, the first ingredient is sugar. That tells you something about the value of nutritional value of Oreo cookies. Oops. After sugar, we have flour. And I'm going to pause the video here for a second while I fill this in. You get the idea. Type a few of these out. Alrighty, I'm back. I just took a second to pause the video so I could type these in, save you some time. So once these are in there, I can hit this button here to make it a little larger. You can highlight words like sugar and hit emphasize and flour. Oops, as you can see, I accidentally drug that down there. We'll just fix that up. So again, I can highlight that and hit emphasize. And I can highlight flour and emphasize. Etc. Look at some of these words, you can't even pronounce them. And this makes those words bold. And I got this extra card down here by mistake when I struck sugar down, so I can hit the delete button and that'll go away. Let's look and see what we have so far. Alright, we got our title, nutritional label with picture, some key ingredients. You can see how that shows up. Alright, let's add one more thing. Again, we're just showing you, this isn't really about making an Oreo cookie sway. It's more about just showing you some of the things that you can do in here. Let's add some pictures. We'll do a heading, and let's do, maybe some ways to eat Oreo cookies. And we're going to add some images below that. And so let's see, Oreo cookie desserts. And let's just pick a few of these. I can just drag them over here. When I want to do a series of pictures, you can just drag them and drop them right below the others. It just keeps stacking it up. And we'll just pick a few of these. Alright, and then one thing that's kind of neat you can do in here is when you click on a picture, you can check this little box and connect the pictures together, group them together. And now when I hit group, it'll ask me what kind of group. Do I want a grid or a stack? I'm going to choose, or automatic, I'm going to choose stack. And you can see what this does. Let's get down to that part. So you can see I have a little stack of pictures. When I click on it, it jumps through. And there's a variety of things that you can do with that. Those are a little small. I could go and click, make it medium sized. Just a few other things to mention about Sway. I've jumped over to this design tab before, but suppose I didn't like the way that it's making these titles. I don't like the blue. I can change those types of things on the design tab. So after I hit design, I'll come over here and I'll hit styles. And again, you can change it from vertical to horizontal to more like a PowerPoint slide presentation, or you can come down here and you can choose different custom colors. You could say I want my colors based on the Oreo cookie package, and it'll make suggestions down here that you can choose from. Or you can just hit this remix button, and the remix button will totally redesign your thing. You can hit that over and over again until you find something that you like. There's things down here like, do you want to have intense animation or subtle animation? Those are things like the titles coming in. You can also choose text size, make that text larger or smaller. Okay, so when you're done making your Sway, so I just put a few things in this Sway just to give you an idea. When you're totally done making the Sway, of course you can hit play to preview it, but you'll want to hit share. And you will want to make a decision here whether you're going to share it with a certain person or group of people, only people in the Carlisle Area School District, or anybody with a link. I often choose this anyone with a link can see it, and that way the other person doesn't even need to log into Office 365. You can choose either one of these, it doesn't really matter. This will require the person to log in, and this they won't have to log in. So in other words, you could share it with your parents at home if you have this link. Make sure this is set to view. The other option would be as if you were working with a partner on a project, you could choose edit. And if you pay close attention to this URL here, when I hit edit, it changes to something else. If you sent this link to your partner, they could also make changes to your Sway. But today it's important, we just want view. And you're going to hit this button which will copy that link, and then you can email that to your teacher. So to email it to your teacher, simply go back to your Office 365 login, go to Outlook, and you can compose an email to your teacher and paste that URL in there. Or your teacher may have another way they want you to turn that in through Schoology or some other means, but often teachers request that you email it to them. Alright, I hope that you learned the basics of making a Sway. Again, keep in mind this wasn't really about the Oreo cookies, it was about adding these cards, the different types of cards that you can add, as well as how you can make minor changes to make your Sway look the way you want it to look, and then of course how to share it. Thank you. Have a great day.